From Fraser Nelson on X, these children may speak perfect English outside of the home, but to reform, they're guilty of culture smashing. The next election may be about politics of unity versus division. In singling out kids this way, Farage risks taking reform into a direction that few will follow. Right, full disclosure, before I make this video ripping the piss out of this Wormtongue-esque creature, Fraser Nelson, full disclosure, I'm a bit salty because he instantly blocked me as soon as I had a pop with him on X. Gina Miller doesn't do that, no. For years I've been saying there needs to be caps on political donations of 50k. A megabucks donation of 9 million to reform from a cryptocurrency bro must have strings attached. Angry Bootneck, you've not been relevant for a decade, Vinegar Tits. Nobody cares about your political moves, and we're not going back in the EU, so go back to Brussels and wind your neck in. Yep, there you go. See, she was perfectly happy with that. Rational, reasonable, and thoughtful response. I wonder why Fraser's so evasive. Right, here was my response to Fraser, just putting it out there. He obviously is there, like his little creature mate, his fat, barren, greenback-looking frisp pal, Andrew Neil. And they do what they do best, which, as I pointed out in this comment, they try and hoodwink normal conservative people into supporting left-wing policies and causes by calling themselves nominally conservative and not being in any slight way even remotely conservative. And as I pointed out here, Fraser, you're trying to hoodwink fools into supporting left-wing policies, and guess what? That fat jellyfish Johnson, he's just let the cat out the bag. So at least Corbyn is openly woke, you effing snake. That's what I called him. Full disclosure, that's what happened. Soon as it got a few likes, he instantly blocked me. Because, well, I think that arrow was a little bit close to the mark, don't you? Obviously, I brought the receipts. Ex-Spectator editor nails the right-wing lie that violent crime is rising. Who wrote this? Oh, look, it was an out communist on Nation Cymru, a new service for the people of Wales. Seems a bit weird that a load of full-blown socialists would be gobbling him off. Bit weird that, isn't it? Oh yeah, I know why that is. That's because he is exactly as I described him, and that's why he blocked me. And if you weren't aware of any of his gibberish regarding that issue, he spent the last 12 months telling everybody that crime was way down in Britain, and it's definitely not lawless. No, perceptions are merely skewed by the rise of more visible crimes, and there definitely isn't a migrant crime wave. Weird that, innit? It's almost like I was right, and that's why he wants to shut me up. He doesn't want anybody reading the reasonable critiques of him, does he, the little weasel? And here's a marvellous piece from 2015, The Unsayable Truth About Immigration. It's been a stunning success for Britain. The rise of far-right extremism is at odds with our mood of tolerance. He goes on to say this: the UK has become one of the most successful melting pots in the world, a country so open-minded as to be colourblind. It emerged this week that ethnic minorities in Britain are, if anything, more likely to hold the top jobs. Doctors, lawyers and bankers than whites. In the US, you'll find Americans at the top of all the big firms. Here, we don't really mind. Royal Mail, RBS, Prudential, Vodafone, all great UK companies headed by foreigners. Then he starts talking about Mark Carney, and he's a great immigrant who definitely didn't wreck the British economy. And you get the idea. I think I can sum up now, can't I? Is that piece distinguishable from something that Jeremy Corbyn or Ash Sarkar would write? Is it? So, to sum up, if this little rat bastard is writing or editing any of the publications you're still reading, I suggest you stop. He is one of the architects of the downfall of British conservatism, because people who vote conservative, I mean, this is going to blow your mind. People who vote conservative generally want lower immigration, they want to be tough on crime, and they want to rein in the power of the state and have less civil servants, a smaller state, lower taxes. Fraser Nelson argues against all of those things, so just like Andrew Neil and Boris Johnson, who promised us he was going to get immigration under control and then proceeded to import 1 million men in a year, These people, to my mind, are more detestable and insidious. Yeah, Wormtongue is a good name for him than actual out leftists, because at least people like thee and me will never vote for somebody like Jeremy Corbyn or Ash Sarkar or an out socialist. But weasels like this help usher in wolves in sheep's clothing like Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak and all the rest of them. So I have a particularly, what would you call it, militant distaste for people like Fraser Nelson. A rat of a man in a nice suit. A man who sells his own country down the river while espousing the exact opposite opinions of people who call themselves conservative. All right, I've said me bit. If you want to disagree and you're convinced that this oxygen thief is actually conservative, please let me know in the comments. I would suggest he's a creature and he's up for sale to the highest bidder, and he's probably hummed the EU anthem with George Soros's balls in his mouth. All right, thanks for tuning in. Let me know what you think as usual, and I'll see you all soon. Toodle pip. Cheers.